find this thing out. Oh, that went terrible. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. All right. Let's check this. Give me a minute, y'all. It's my first live. Let's see what's up. Looks like I'm lagging. Let me see here. I got only one channel subscriber. 1 minute. Yeah. All right. So I can't see myself. Maybe y'all can see me. So yeah, yo. I want to talk about a book I wrote. It's called Guide Through the Black Matrix. And I wanted to go um, to a specific chapter, which is Hotep with Your Mind, Chapter 1. I haven't done any. What is this doing open? Bear with me, y'all. I might just delete this stream, but I'm just trying it out, see how it looks. So yeah, is it this one? I want to talk about your principles, really. No, it's chapter 5, Hotep Path, Your Morals, Values, and Idealism, page 61. Let's go here. How are we looking on YouTube? Has my stream been counting? And stream error. YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming, such as viewers will experience buffering. My bad, y'all. Let me see what kind of internet we're working with here. Internet seems alright. Oh shit, I got the wrong internet. Hold on. No, I got the right one. So let's get on with it. As a matter of fact, let's do this intro again. No, forget that. So we're gonna go back to Word document, page 61. Yes. So maybe you got a chance to read some of it. Let me zoom in a little. Oh. So yeah, in this chapter, let's start here. In this chapter, I focus on the path I chose to my morality, the Hotep mindset. You are free to choose your own path, and you start choosing that path since your birth. May it be a religion, may it be any other belief system, as long as it considers evaluating the basic principles to the benefit of your particular ideologies. So what I want to get into is your principles, and I've done a few research and studies on people that have studied this in the past. One person, a couple of people that come to mind is Moore, um, Socrates, all of those people. Anyways, I don't remember the names right now, but I've been doing research, and the more you dive into morals and principles, the more confusing it gets. It's almost as if it's like you go into the research and you come out being a nihilist. And it's, even though it's well intended, is for you to understand um, yourself. It gives you an understanding of the general population. And what you really need to be doing is understanding yourself. So the way I try to break it down is by um, defining your morals, your values, and your ideals. And one thing you got to realize is that your ideals is um, because you're mostly operating out of your mind. Most of the things that we're talking about are ideals. Those are the things that get broken down to. So the ideal is the actual idea that can conceptualize or manifest into an actual action that you can value, and then you use your morals to make a judgment of whether that actual action that came out of an idea is moral. So it's a interlocking thing, and if you just take these three words and identify it for yourself, you'll be a lot more further, excuse me, than if you go try to study all these books and they get into ethics and virtue and vice, and these are all words that if you don't know yourself, um, so they talk about, for example, let's take ethics. Ethics of who? So if somebody tells you you have ethics, or it says you don't have ethics, from whose perspective is it really? Because I have ethics towards the people who I'm loyal to, and you have ethics towards the people you are loyal to. So who has ethics? Who is the judge to our efficacy, or whatever you call that word? Let me check on YouTube what's going on here. And go. 0 viewers. That's awesome. So there we go. Now let's go back to reading. Each individual is free to choose their ideals, values, and morals. However, laws and rules within a society define the boundaries, which can limit some of your principles. So let's start with your morals. Now, your morals is your difference between right and wrong. And for each person, it's different. It should be slightly different for each person. It'd be perfect if everybody had the same morals, but we're all born under different circumstances and have different experiences. So morality is really what you consider good and what you consider bad out of your point of view. And you can also see morality from the point of view of other people if you have that ability. But let's see, how long are we gonna keep this? So if you if you have the ability to define what is right for you or what is good to you, um, then you can see who you have that in common with, because it's very important to have something morals in common with the ones around you. And it's also very important for your morals to be very stable, so it can't be changing from day to day. So you can't be saying this is good today and tomorrow it's bad. It makes you unstable for your environment and you become a problem. So, and let me move from morals to values so you can understand the differences. So when you have values is what you appreciate in life, and values and ideals often get confused. So values is so if I'm gonna break it down, you have um material value, so things like actual like a book, like my notes. This is something I value because it's a book, because I can write on it. So to use uh, this book, before I get into what other examples of value, let me go into ideals. The fact of me writing in this book is sort of an ideal, but it has been manifested. I actually took an action or conceptualized. I took a pen and I wrote in it. So it was an idea that I use with a value. So there's an overlap there. But there was a point where I didn't write in it and it was just an idea, so I can't value it. Going back to values, um, you can also value living conscious beings, or in the terms of what, what did they call it? States. I don't know. Being in a conscious state. So if you, so another human, you can value another human, something that also reacts. You can value a rock, but it's not a living being, but it's still valuable to you because you could use it to throw. A human can perform actions, ideas, conceptualize ideas, or manifest ideas that you now value. But you can also just value that human being. Another thing that you can value is the phenomena called time. And when you get into time, you also need to value things like the sun and nature and all that. So altogether, nature. But for the sake of this conversation, time is the most valued because you can put nature under material also, to a degree. And then you have the ideals, um, which is the what I explained before, which is the actual skill, which is the actual um, thought of something. Let's see what's going on. Yeah, which is the actual thought, an idea of something happening. Like I value um, cooking, but I haven't cooked yet, so it's an idea. So I can only value it after it's been conceptualized. So I call it a manifested ideal, but I don't know if manifested is a too strong of a word. It's a red pill. I don't know. Let me continue reading. So morals. So let's dive a little bit into morals right here. The principles of right and wrong. So there's two questions you can ask to have an idea of what your morals are. It's one of them is how would you treat your enemies in your custody? So if you're in a situation where you're in a war zone, whatever, or you're in your house and somebody invades your house, but you have them captured, how would you treat them? Would you like be beating them up constantly or having them in an uncomfortable position, or would you have them comfortable, and if they're like extremely thirsty, maybe give them some water until you can handle it properly with another authority or whatnot? What would you do? Because that kind of defines your morality. Because um, um, for that example and many other example, what you can use is the golden rule, which is either do unto others what you would like to be done to you, or do not do unto others what you would not like to be done to you. Some people think those two things mean different things, but they mean the same exact thing. If you do something um, and expect something, there's consequences. If you don't do something and expect something, there's also consequences. They both get to the same end, and but it's different path, but it's the same action. Same different path, different action, Same action, different direction. So how would you? So the golden rule says that you should treat them how you would want to be treated. That's so. If you The most thing to have in common with other humans, even other animals, or just um, other beings, is morality, as I said earlier. So you know that if you're going to war with another human, and if you get captured, they're not gonna do the most atrocious thing to you. It's just okay. It's part of the war thing. You've been captured and whatever. There's some agreement. Otherwise, you wouldn't go to war. You would do something different. Uh, Final solution, things like that. So the other question is, who or what can you be judged by? Or in some cases, who is your God? So I'm gonna answer this stream, and then I'm gonna go offline. I just want to see. I'm gonna answer this question, and I'm gonna go offline. I just want to see how this streaming thing works and how I'm looking right now. Um, so who can you be judged by? Who is your God, or who is your authority? And if you that's a cheat code into knowing what your morality is. The goal is to um, identify your morals, um, less define, just identify them. So if you say your God is from some book, some Bible, then somewhere along the lines they have their morals written down, and you pretty much, if you follow the book, then that's your morals. Um, let's take the example of a gang. When it comes to a gang, um, there's a different set of morals within the gang. What may be immoral to you is moral to them. So gang banging is good in that setting. So you just need to know what your morality is and not to judge or define it. That's the first step. Um, so who can you be judged by? Um, will let you know where you stand on morality. Anyway, Joe, I'm gonna get into values and principles. I'm sorry, and ideals at some other point. I hope you got the gist of it. I think it's very important for people to know these things because um, if you don't know your principles and where you're getting that information from, if you don't know the source, you're easily corruptible and to be manipulated. And as goes for especially for the young children, because um, even though um, I'm not pro or against religions, what I do have to say about them is that they played a very crucial role in the education in the past. Is that this is where people learned their morals. Now, religion did have their own agenda, but they also maintains a set of morals that I think most um, humans naturally agree with. And religion has been taken out of the schools. So you need to ask yourself, where are your kids getting their moral their principles from? So the answer is they're getting it from um, part-time strangers, which is their teachers, who they don't really know what their living situation is or where they come from. There's a disconnect, and they're getting it from the television, which is fantasy land. There's nowhere for your kids to um, get this knowledge or to self-analyze them. And I think it's very important that we focus on this. This is the building blocks to all the to avoid all the problems that we're having right now. When you say what happened to the kids, it's because they don't have any a compass to guide them with their self-worth. Anyways, yo, I'm Hotep Dutch. I might do this again. I might or I might not. Peace out. Love y'all. How do I end this? There you go. There's the red button. Hey, press the red button. Are you sure you want to end? Yes.